0 o'clock. Oh, my parents didn't miss my graduation because of emergencies or bad timing. They missed it because they needed a break. I read that text standing outside the auditorium, holding my cap like it suddenly weighed too much. That was the moment it stopped feeling like a misunderstanding and started feeling like a pattern. And right before the ceremony began, my phone lit up again, showing me exactly where I stood in their priorities. Not at the center, not even close, but what I saw that day wasn't even the worst part. 0:31 graduation morning didn't feel like a celebration. It felt like silence with a dress code. I'd spent 4 years surviving on shifts, scholarships, tutoring, and whatever hours were left after exhaustion. People called me disciplined. I called it staying afloat. My apartment was small, clean, controlled. The kind of neatness you build when everything else feels unpredictable. I checked my reflection more out of habit than confidence. I looked ready. I didn't feel ready for anything except disappointment, because deep down, I already knew this day would not include them. 0 hours 1 minute and 10 seconds growing up. The pattern was always the same. My younger brother Ethan came first always. If he was sick, the house stopped. If I was sick, I was told to manage. If he needed something, it became urgent. If I needed something, it became optional. My parents weren't cruel in obvious ways. That was the problem. They were consistent in quieter ones, and I learned early that being the responsible one just meant being the one who gets less. 0 hours 1 minute and 46 seconds by the time I reached college. I stopped expecting fairness. I just kept moving. But graduation, that felt different. Like maybe, just maybe, they would show up for once without me having to earn it. I checked my phone repeatedly. No messages. No on our way. Not even a lie. 0 hours 2 minutes and 18 seconds. The auditorium filled quickly, families laughing, cameras flashing, flowers everywhere. People shouting names like they were proud of them. I took a seat. Alone. Someone from my program asked where my parents were. I said they couldn't make it. It sounded calmer than I felt. They gave me a sympathetic look and offered extra flowers like that could fill the gap. It didn't. 0 hours 2 minutes and 52 seconds during the ceremony. I kept waiting for the door to open behind me. It never did. Instead, I checked my phone again. That's when I saw it. A photo. My parents at brunch, smiling, relaxed, sunlight, food, laughter, and Ethan in the middle, holding a drink, wearing my grandfather's watch, the one I was supposed to receive today. 0 to 3:25. Something inside me didn't explode. It went quiet, not numb, not sad. Just finished pretending. The ceremony continued around me, but I wasn't really there anymore. I was just watching a version of my life where I had already been replaced. 0 hours 3 minutes and 58 seconds afterwards. I walked home with my gown still on, flowers slowly dying in my hand. I didn't cry. I didn't call anyone. I just sat on the edge of my bed and stared at nothing until my laptop notification appeared. Congratulations. You've been selected for the Chancellor's Award. For a second, I didn't believe it. Then I did. And everything changed shape. 0:04:3 to this wasn't a small award. It was the highest recognition the university gave. And suddenly, I understood something simple. They would come to this. Not because they cared, because it would look good, because Ethan wouldn't be the center. This time, 0 hours 5 minutes and 5 seconds. I didn't smile. I didn't celebrate. I just wrote one sentence in my notebook. This one isn't for people who stayed away, and underlined it. Twice. 0:05:to 8. The ceremony felt different. Smaller room, heavier silence, sharper expectations, and they were there. Front row, perfectly placed. My mother dressed like it was an event of importance. My father sitting straight like attendance could erase absence. And Ethan, bored, scrolling his phone until I saw the watch again, still on his wrist. 0 hours 6 minutes and 2 seconds. That was the moment everything went still inside me. Not anger, not sadness. Decision. 0 to 6:25 when my name was called. I walked to the stage without looking at them. Not once. The lights were too bright to see faces clearly anyway. Maybe that was a mercy. I spoke calmly. Thanked the faculty. Acknowledged the work. Then I paused. 0 hours 6 minutes and 52 seconds, and I said what I had never said out loud before, that some students are celebrated loudly, and others are only noticed when it benefits someone else. The room shifted. I kept going anyway. 0 hours 7 minutes and 18 seconds. I want this award to represent something simple. I said, acknowledgement for the people who were never prioritized. Even when they showed up anyway, silence tightened. And then I didn't get here because I was supported. I got here because I learned to survive without it. 0 hours 7 minutes and 45 seconds. I didn't look at them, but I felt the change in the room, the discomfort, the realization. The exposure. 0 hours 8 minutes and 8 seconds when I finished. There was no dramatic applause at first. Just silence. Then movement. Then Ethan standing abruptly. Then leaving. Fast. Clumsy. Like he couldn't stay in the same room as the truth. 0 hours 8 minutes and 38 seconds. My parents didn't follow. They just sat. They're frozen. Not angry. Not proud. Just caught in something they couldn't reframe quickly. Enough. 0 hours 9 minutes and 2 seconds. I stepped off stage without looking back. For the first time, I didn't feel like I was waiting for their approval to define the moment. The moment already belonged to me. 0 hours 9 minutes and 26 seconds that night. My phone filled with notifications. Ethan removed. Me. Muted. Blocked. My parents sent a message. Later, long, carefully worded. About embarrassment. About respect. About misunderstanding. I didn't argue. 0 hours 9 minutes and 55 seconds. I replied with one sentence. I spent 22 years being silent so you could be comfortable. And I stopped. There's 0 hours 10 minutes and 18 seconds the next morning. I received a photo from my father. Me as a child. Dirt on my face. Smiling anyway. On the back, a note. We should have shown up more. 0 hours 10 minutes and 40 seconds. I didn't respond. I just kept the photo because it didn't fix anything, but it finally admitted something I already knew. 0 hours 10 minutes and 58 seconds, and for the first time in my life, I stopped waiting for them to choose me. And chose myself instead.